Welcome to the Social Podcast, where no discussion or debate is off limits.
Welcome to the Social. How are you feeling on this Thursday, anyway? Great to have you here. We want to welcome back Executive Director of The Walrus, Jennifer Hollett. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're going to start with kind of it's a bit of a sad story, but we're going to discuss the fact that TMZ is right now facing a ton of backlash for posting and then retracting photos of Liam Payne's body after the former One Direction member, he fell to his death from a hotel balcony in Buenos Aires. Now, publishing celebrity death photos is an ethical boundary that even TMZ doesn't typically cross. So what is your reaction? And Jennifer, listen, this is what you do. You are in the media. You have to make decisions like this, maybe not exactly like this all the time. What's your take on this?
Well, I have to say, I grew up as a boy band fan. My boy band was New Kids on the Block.
Yes.
I became a Much Music VJ where we covered all type of news. And this is not only disrespectful, but it's unnecessary. So you have to think that there are a lot of family members, friends, colleagues who learn of this news through TMZ in the media and social media. And to see a picture, parts of a dead body, we can't lose our dignity, whether it's in death, war, violence, self-harm. So this is really disappointing. And what does it achieve?
Well, I listen, I agree, and I wouldn't have wanted to look at it. And my understanding is people clicked on this link initially and just saw these images, which is also quite shocking. This is nothing new, though. And the National Enquirer for years would often print pictures of people who have died, famous people who had died in their caskets. In fact, I remember there being a book of a collection of all of these. And so there's been a morbid curiosity around celebrities in almost a kind of garish way for ages. And so while I wouldn't be interested in looking at it, there clearly is appetite. Otherwise, they wouldn't print it. So what does that say about us and also the unlimited access that we have? Right now, if you wanted to, you could Google any number of famous people dead, and you could find images. So where do we draw that line? I don't know the answer to that.
In a newsroom that has policies.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that's why we're even talking about this, because we're so accustomed in North America being shielded from these type of harsh stories. Whether we blur an image or give an advisory before a really harsh story airs, or sometimes we just stay away from certain death stories altogether, like suicide. You'll very rarely hear that in the news. But I think it's a North American thing, because I've traveled to a lot of different countries, and I always like to, keep on top of what's happening there. And in other countries, in other continents like South America, Central America, the Caribbean, Africa, these types of stories and these types of images are in color on the front page, and no one bats an eye at it.
Wow.
If anything, I remember when I was in Mexico, there was a story where they had a bunch of men who were killed by one of the drug cartels, and they had their bodies hanging in this very public place. And the cartel did that on purpose because they knew the photographer from the local paper was gonna show up, take those photos, put them on the front cover of the newspaper, and that would be a warning to anybody else in the community not to cross them. So this type of journalism, the sensitivity that we experience, is not practiced everywhere else. There are a lot of places where they have absolutely no problem with it.
Yeah, it's really sad to me that I think in what has changed, because I agree, it's either cultural or since I remember the JFK I wasn't there at the JFK assassination, I wasn't born yet, but there is the video that exists of actually watching that full assassination attempt on video. I think that the human curiosity, whether that's natural or not, has long existed, but of course I thought about the fact that Liam Payne has a 7-year-old son who is now fatherless, and how is he going to stumble upon it? He might be online, he might not be online. And there's a race in 2024, and with the dawn of social media, that the race to be first tends to make people not think about, is this ethical?
Is this a human?
Yeah.
Is
this a human?
But we build celebrities and we kill them. We do,
but aren't we to blame? Aren't we to blame? Because TMZ started off as a little nothing that no one thought about, and they slowly pushed all of the big entertainment shows like Entertainment Tonight. Those shows can't even compare in numbers because they're there first. They have the story. When you want to find out what happened to a celebrity, where do you go now? It's TMZ. How did I find out about the death of Kobe Bryant? TMZ, and I was a news anchor at the time.
But they need us, so they listen, because the community feedback said, "Ugh, this is too much. It's not appropriate." I was surprised. I was disappointed, and that's why they removed it. So that's the right course of action.
I think for every single person who's saying "ooh," I think there are 10 people who are right now scouring the internet looking for the photo.
Do you think, in a way, though, also in this age of conspiracy theories, that there was? I mean, I think it was for salacious reasons that they posted it, but you know darn well that there are still people who think that Elvis is alive, wandering around doing his own thing. That there is this kind of like, again...
We want proof?
We want, yeah, I mean, we've done it before in so many instances.
People still want to see Bigfoot. They still want to see, because they saw a picture. I thought of right away Osama bin Laden, and there was a lot of conspiracy theories that, that no one saw his body, or why would you dispose of his body in the sea, which is supposedly what was done. And then the conspiracy theorists all came out, and there is an element of the post-truth era, the conspiracy theory era, that's like, unless we see it, maybe it's not true.
It's true, but it's such a sad story, and we can't lose sight of this, that someone has died, right? Yeah. Someone a lot of people looked up to, admired, has died. And I just hope we can hold our humanity, all of us working the media, but also all of us consuming and watching social media and media.
It's a great, there's so much death right now going on in television, period. So
it's even more important that we do this.
This is true. This is true.
So a mom wrote to Dear Prudence for advice on how to encourage her cynical daughter to be more open-minded about marriage. She says her daughter talks about it like it's a prison sentence, and mom's worried she's gonna push away the good man that she's currently dating. So what do you think about this, and what advice would you give to this mom?
Ooh, this is a little bit hairy. I mean, listen, there's a little bit more detail that we should fill in, and that mom has acknowledged that perhaps her own traumatic breakup and divorce from her husband, which is her daughter's father, probably impacted why her daughter feels this way. To which I would say, Mom, get off your daughter's case and get yourself into therapy.
First of all, I would like to tell my mother, just tell me directly. You don't have to send it through the social. But to even further your point, this is going to be an uncomfortable truth to go even further. There are a lot of aunties and grandmas and moms out there who are constantly harassing their young daughters to get married. And right? You want to clap for it because it's ridiculous. And the reality is the reason why they don't want to do what you did is because they don't want your life. Because, you may have fudged it to everybody else in your community, your coworkers, your friends, your neighbors, everybody, that you had this great marriage, but your children were there. They had a front row seat to what was really happening. And they may have watched you do everything, cleaning the house, cooking, doing everything while dad sat back and did nothing. They may have watched, zero intimacy in that relationship and thought to themselves, why would I want to sign up for that? So while you're pushing your daughter to do this thing and she's pushing back, maybe you should just take a look and say, maybe she was looking at me and I wasn't the greatest example of what marriage could be or should be. And stop pushing your kids and stop making your daughter feel that she has to center a man in her life to be happy.
Yes.
That's also a huge issue.
Well, I am 49 years old, not married, single, no kids, and guess what? I have a happy and fulfilling life. Can you believe it?
Unbelievable.
It is possible. So actually, I think we need more healthy, critical conversations on marriage, on weddings, because this is about the marriage or the wedding, but also about all the options we all have in 2024. That's what's so beautiful, is we don't have to choose marriage if it's not for us, right? And I think this is about the mom. She should get married again.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. Although, so she did it. She's had 2 failed marriages. The first one to the dad and the second one with the stepfather that was also equally, by her account, traumatic to this daughter. So the daughter's had some things that she's seen, so it obviously has impacted her. I do think there is something, at least for some people, that marriage, I was afraid of marriage. I'll just admit it. That's why I'm not legally married. To me, it did look a bit like a prison. And that's not because I had a bad example. My parents are happily married over 50 years. They have a great example, lots of balance. But just because some of the notions of like husband and wife and the way that I heard, vows, there seemed to be a lot of like going from your parents' rules and then into this other thing that had a lot of rules and boundaries, which kind of can feel like constricting. And so Jason and I particularly made it our aim to make sure that we give each other freedom and space. I'm not the good wifey. I am, much to my mother's chagrin at sometimes. Like, I think she's noted, like, aren't you gonna get ready for him when he comes in the door? After all these years, yeah.
Did she watch the show?
And I love you, Mom. But outside of this particular situation, I think the one other option that we need to give women is the option to be in a steady, long-term relationship where you do show vulnerability, but you also give each other lots of freedom. That's an option too.
Yeah, there's all options. We love this. We love this.
And the option to stay single, like my girlfriend. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to another dilemma. Someone wrote to Miss Manners asking if they're right to be upset after their friend agreed to come to a party, then bailed. Twice in the past little while. All right, so should you always honor a social commitment unless there's an emergency?
Hear that? Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, one depends. One.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think?
Yeah.
What do you think, Jen?
Yes, I think that there's always a small group of people who organize a group outing to the movies or a party at their place or a dinner, and it takes a lot of work, resources, time, money, coordination, and an RSVP goes a long way. But I also think as one of the social organizers, that's who I am, people are gonna flake. So do your best to honor your word. I'm very black and white about that, but also be realistic, which is things do change. But at a certain point, maybe they're just, that friendship's not gonna work.
Let me introduce myself. Hi, my name's Andrea Bain.
Nice to meet you, yeah.
I bail out of plans all the time. And let me tell you something. When you invite me, because I love a good planner friend, you guys are very special. When you send that invite, whether it's text or email, when I say yes, I mean it. I really wanna go. But on the day, I don't know what kind of day I'm gonna have. And maybe it's a long day. Maybe I know I have an early morning the next morning and I don't wanna I don't wanna do it. Or some of you you're just not there. You don't have the energy. Or maybe there's that one friend you're like, I ain't got it for her today. I just can't do it today. So although the intentions are good, I think you should be easier on your friends who bail out.
Very nice to meet you. Try maybe.
Of the ESO. Of course I'll be there. Of course I'll be there for you, anything. But I do have this one rule. If I make plans with just the two of us, I will never bail on you because I don't want to leave you by yourself. But if there's a group of 5 people or more, girlfriend, it's iffy.
You can slink away unnoticed. Notice. It's true.
We're gonna notice if you're not there. We're gonna notice.
Okay, but feel free to talk about me. I'm fine.
I think the challenge is there's especially when you have a large group of people and you have busy women, moms, busy careers, etc. It is hard because we are always trying to juggle about 6 plates at the same time and not drop one. So I think having grace for each other absolutely is important. But if you always have that one friend, then I think it does probably, if you care about this person, and I presume you do, it probably warrants a difficult conversation, which is, listen, I notice that, I invite you all the time and you do back out all the time. Do you want me to just stop inviting you? Because, I'm planning. To your point, we have one friend in the group. She does all the planning all the time. She's taking the time. It's not actually me.
Wow.
No, it's not shocking. I know.
Like, wow.
Yes, I thank God for her every day. And I would never, and I hate bailing because I know she's doing so much work. But if that one friend keeps doing that, I think you've got to do the respect and just be like, should we just leave you off the invite?
She'll say, keep me on, keep me on. I don't want to be left out.
Okay, then she shouldn't be surprised if she stops getting invited.
Okay, is that woman, does she have kids?
No.
Okay. Like I think, because that was what came to my mind.
Sorry, I was gonna say something, but I got nothing to say now.
That is one of the best things about having
and by the way,
a child.
Hey, parents, we know when you use your children as an excuse.
No, you don't. No, that is good. But I mean, I can empathize. I'm with you. I love a bail, and actually, it did happen to me. I love a bail, and I don't mind if a friend bails. This happened to me during the film festival. I was all set to go to a party. My friend bailed at the last minute, and I was like, well, I'm all dressed up. I guess I'm going by myself. And so I went, I don't know who I was. I just decided I'm going and I'm going to have a good time. Yes, fun Cynthia came out.
Fun, independent Cynthia who's free to do whatever she wants.
If I'm in the right mood. So I do agree. Like, if it has to be in the right mood.
Until that friend texts you, I miss you. When are we going to hang out?
Come on, right? Come on. Well, Jen, you are here in town. Well, you are here in town. You live in this town. But you're also doing a really, really special event, something that I think all women need to know about, all men need to know about. It is called The Walrus Talks Menopause. It is happening tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, as you can see there. You know I'm passionate about menopause.
You and
major.
The social have done such great work on this topic. So
yes, tell us about it,
There are still tickets left for tonight in Toronto and a free live stream. So just go to thewalrus.ca. 7 speakers, 7 different perspectives from perimenopause to menopause, which is only one day, to postmenopause. Yeah, I know. Not everyone realizes that. We're talking about it all.
This is exciting. And can you give us a little taste of the perspectives and the experts and what we can expect?
Everything from all the different symptoms that we experience in the different stages, also to the impact on the economy and sex.
Yes, my favorite.
You just got Cynthia's attention.
Yes.
I'm in.
Well, good luck. Anybody who's talking about this, I'm just, we champion and we're excited for. So thank you for coming and telling us about it.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me back.
Subscribe to the Social Podcast so you don't miss a fiery debate. Until next time, socialites.